Yeah, that's also very nice to see that they're, sticking to stuff that they know how to play, that they're used to playing, and finding themselves, a way to play their own style, which is certainly one of the most aggressive out of all the teams here in the group stage. They are like almost unreasonably aggressive. In TSM, they just have to feel like they have to be more prepared for it. After fights in particular, like last game we saw them not completely respect that they might be sticking around. They might be looking for more.
I love the chatter in the beginning. The good luck friends.
And TSM, as usual, not smoking out. And we see them, I think we saw them place both the wards. Did they see both those? They saw one of the wards for sure. I think they even saw the mid. Yeah, they're pinging it out.
Yeah, Mago knows.
They're going to get double D-warded here. I don't like the no smoke approach on level 1. This is going to be really bad for them.
30 seconds to battle.
TSM do it repeatedly where they just choose to not do the level 1 smoke that most teams do. But Matthew has to be careful not to reveal his own ward by just how he's playing here. He wants to get the D ward on the obs, but in doing so might reveal that he had high ground vision himself.
Waiting patiently, scouting over here in the top lane.
The battle begins.
I think gonna go forward. He says hello to Dubu. Dubu says, I don't want to deal with this. But Tomato is able to grab that bounty rune in the river. So it's still gonna be a split 50-50.
Yeah, the mid is dewarded by Panda. And they still have one more sentry over on the side of Nyx. Surprised they didn't go for it already, because they did ping out that ward that was dropped. So I thought that they would have gone for it. He even bought another sentry now. Maybe he wants to keep his sentry for the lane in particular.
Okay, so how do they want this bottom lane to go for TSM? Because we can see there's a lot of lockdown coming out from the side of Thunder. You're going to have the Boundless. You're going to have the Sinister Gaze. Plus, the amount of harass coming out from this Lich. It's going to be pretty difficult. How do they want to play this to make sure that they can kind of slow down Bakaz?
They have a level 2 power spike where Venomancer with the Gale and the Poison Sting gets pretty strong. But overall, I think this lane should be quite easy for TSM. You're playing Venomancer into a Monkey King. It's not the tallest order here to be winning this lane.
You're seeing the harass going back and forth. Poor Moon, he can't do anything over here against this Lich right now.
Yeah, Shaker is useful for backing the lane and useful for catching people off guard, but he is not very good at trading between two supports. He goes in and he tanks the Novas though. The Novas are landing on the Shaker, not on the Venomancer, so Venom is able to stay in lane, even getting some magic stick charges from this trade. So
like
it's
no
not
CS though. He's got one last hit and one deny. There it is, there's the Sinister Gaze that we talked about, plus the Harass the Boundless. Let's go and pop stick, but this is exactly what I was afraid of for the side of TSM.
Yeah, they didn't manage to get the lane as far back from the start as I expected they would with the Shaker Fissures and then body blocks. They're still playing pretty far down the lane, and Lich is able to bully more than he would otherwise.
Top lane, nice little impale over onto Tomato and Dubu. Sacred having himself a nice time in this lane, sitting 10 and 2. And Tomato not too far behind though, 9 and 1. So I think it's nice that he does have a little bit more of a sturdier hero that's able to kind of stand toe to toe and has these options to stun and escape if needed.
Yeah, it's also pretty nice that he keeps spamming the sidekick over on his silencer, so Dubu can have an easier time trading hits, and he gets an easier time CSing himself as well.
I feel like we haven't talked about the mid lane at all. Mago's just got a train of creeps. Okay, looks like they had a little bit of creep manipulation going on in this mid lane.
Yeah, it's not always that you see mid lane do the creep pulls, but they're both going to park between their tier 1 and tier 2. Mago with five melee creeps, meanwhile 1 range creep and 3 melees for the side of Brawl, so both of them are going to be able to deny their full creep wave here.
Bottom lane, again, this pressure. Good fissure, though. Should be able to keep Saberlight alive at about 40 hit points. Chaz does have the Jingu up if he wants to try to go for this play. And Saberlight gets a little bit close here. Got a little nervous for a moment. But again, don't have the balance for another 8 seconds.
Oh, top lane they're going.
Trying to put the pressure over onto Sacred. But fairly tanky. Has a salve on him. He's going to be able to regen up. Go right back to business.
Moon is struggling to have a good place to have impact right now. In fact, he's getting too close, getting hit by the creeps and the Nova.
The Fissure tossed out, but they'll get the draw over onto Saberlight. Not going to be able to drag him across, though.
Yeah, it's very short duration on level 1, but useful to have still. Mid lane is 22 and 8 for SF and 17 and 3 for Kunkka, so slight win for now over on the side of Brow, and that's usually how it goes. Shadow Fiend against melee heroes, very difficult for Kunkka to win that lane. But he's doing alright though.
I think we'll probably see Mago be fairly aggressive in rotation. Panda is kind of in an awkward position, but there's the jump down from Pakaz. Be able to separate. Nice fissure from Moon Meander. Panda drawing in again with the gaze. Get a couple more hits. Probably going to end up losing Panda here. Is Pakaz going to be able to get himself a kill, though? Is the question with the Boundless over on Saberlight. Needs to get a little bit closer. One more hit should be able to do the trick, and he will be able to get it, but most likely going to fall down. Nice dodge, though. Uses the fairy bar. Pakaz. Oh, no. Moon Meander with that enchant totem will punish him for being very aggressive.
As big for TSM. That bottom lane wasn't going too well. Oh, top lane, toss back.
Top lane Sacred taking a lot of damage, and that's going to be +2 int going the way of Devu.
Yeah, those curse points are doing a lot of damage in that lane because the Dawnbreaker always wants to use 2 spells, and it's just difficult. If you get cursed, you can't get out of it.
Oh. Panda canceling out the salve on Moon Meander. They will punish him. And then allow Pakaz to have more time to farm.
Yeah, because with power treads now, this lane is going to be very difficult for Saberlight to get any farm now. Because power treads on Monkey King, he hits very fast, so really hard as well.
I mean, Saberlight was already having difficulty getting some of the CS, let's be honest. He's sitting at 9 and 2 currently. Pakaz sitting at 22 and 12. This has proven to be a very difficult lane.
Yeah, I don't think the lane should have been... I don't think the lane should have been that bad for them. The matchup is not necessarily that weak, so I think Thunder Awaken have just played the lane really well. Of course, Shaker isn't a lane dominator by any means, but Fissure to pull the lane back and having Venomancer, I don't think they should be struggling as bad as they are.
Again, these are extreme comfort picks. Yeah, look, this Pakaz finding the opening over on Saberlight. It's going to bounce back up into the tree, though, because there's a lot of rotation now with Duvu making his way bottom. Panda needs to be careful too, sitting a little bit low, as he does have a couple of these stick charges, gets himself the wind lace, but they've decided we've had enough. We have to deal with Pakaz. We cannot keep allowing him to do this. Puts down the Boundless though, trying to get some distance in the tower though, doing damage. Dark Mago makes his own rotation to dodge away using that mischief. Boat comes in over on the back lines, and Moon Meander still will be able to get the kill, but they'll end up losing Saberlight. And now Dubu will be the next one to fall. Moon Meander, he wanted this kill, but now he's just gonna give Dark Mago a triple kill.
Moon Meander. I mean, he does get the kill in the end, I suppose, with the Poison Sting there. Top to see a bit of a trade here between the 2 heroes left alone.
That was funny to see the dispose while Sacred was doing the Starbreaker.
Yeah. Now, really good by Thunder Awaken to move and engage the Kunkka now as well, enabling him on this lane. He's sitting around. He wants to go for the Venom, not gonna connect.
Just a little bit off though with the Torrent. We'll get the D-ward off. The mid lane. Can see some pincering going over onto Matthew. They'll just go and drop wards for now.
Power spike for Timado on top. He's gonna get his level 6 now. Has the ulti available.
Big stack coming out from Matthew.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Saber is gonna try and clean that up. Will do so pretty easily, I think.
Pig pool, get the shovel. A lot of goodies in this one camp.
Yeah, get some items for yourselves. Right now we see all of TSM pretty much playing top, just leaving Venomancer bottom. So Veno should start being fine when he gets some points in Veno wards, but he really is quite underleveled right now, and not going for the build that we saw. We've seen some like 2-2-2 skill builds on Venomancer, which is a little bit stronger at fighting early on with Venomancer scale, and also gets the Plague Wards online pretty early still. I think he needs to get maxed out Plague Wards this game because the fights are not working out.
Mago with the Invis rune has half duration. He's being very careful in the way that he's playing over onto the right-hand side of the map, trying not to stand underneath the sentry that he knows is probably over here.
Oh, he might get the X mark if he sticks around.
Yeah, he's found himself a Saberlight. He's got the boat. Moon Meander is getting into position. See if they can use the fissure to buy a bit more time. There's Tomato jumping in, but the Solar Guardian coming in hot from Sacred. We'll be able to turn this right back around to get the balance. Couple more hits, Tomato, he's going to die. That Chain Frost getting some nice bounces, and now Bryle, he should not be here, because there's the follow-up from Matthew. Gets the Impale. They need to slow him down just a little bit. Don't quite have that Starbreaker just yet, but they're going to have the hammer in just a moment. Sacred going forward, Starbreaker, they just blow up Bryle. And they'll still end up losing Sacred, but they are perfectly happy with this, I have a feeling.
Yeah, that
Look
was
at Matthew,
amazing.
he wants Dubu. He wants Dubu.
He's gonna get him. Oh, runs around the corner.
Oh.
Maybe he's fine.
Keep it
No,
down.
this looks bad. This looks bad.
Boop. Boop. And then digs up a bounty rune. Oh boy.
Even more gold. Moon Meander takes a slap mid 2 from the Tidebringer. A lot of damage onto the Shaker immediately as he comes down on mid lane. And he doesn't have Tranquil boots, so he will take a lot of... he did just buy Tranquils now. Okay, so he wants to heal up again.
You see the setup in the bottom lane. How patient Dark Mago was. Waiting for Saberlight, and Moon Meander has good positioning, throws down the fissure, and you see Tomato jump into the center, but this is the power of that Solar Guardian that we talked about. Gives you that global presence, and then they were just able to beat them down so quickly. Bryle wanting to
They're
go
going
in,
on
and
Picasso?
they are going on Picasso in the top lane, yes.
Okay, they protect him with the shield. They were close enough with the Lich, so they're gonna disengage. But yeah, that fight was really nice. The Lich ulti coming in there was bouncing around doing so much damage from Panda. He was very patient, sitting around and getting a perfect chain frost that bounced until it was done.
Alright, smoke play coming up from the Nyx Assassin and Dawnbreaker. Matthew walking underneath the ward they see. For a bit of a dive here, as they show. They'll respect it. It's interesting that they opted to smoke together because I feel like with the Solar Guardian, shouldn't they just kind of leave Sacred by himself and just let him farm and then jump in?
I mean, yeah, the important thing is they place opposite side of the map from Picasso, so we can join in on that. But they can either go towards Sacred and play with him, or they can go top and enable. I think right now they should make moves towards the top area of the map for Thunder, just because it's the more natural tower to try and pressure. It's easier to take that tier 1. So we see them sliding over towards it now, Matthew making his way.
Middle lane, boat coming in hot over onto Bryle. They'll use the global silence. Tomato though trying to follow up, and this is that Solar Guardian again comes in hot with the Starbreaker, gets the heals off. We'll get the dispose from Tomato, so that's looking very nice for them. But now Moon Meander going in with the Echo Slam. We'll be able to finally take down Matthew. So a good response from the side of TSM as they're going to immediately smoke and make their way top lane, trying to put the pressure down on Picasso.
Yeah, see if he can get a read on this. If he can sense it, he gets the range creep. Immediately get out, man.
Oh, okay, alright. Tree Dance trying to get away, but it's very hard to get away from this 3 over here on the side. Tries to dodge away with the mischief a little bit, but that's another +2 int for Dubu.
A bit greedy by him there. He was, well, the greedy part is that he didn't use his Primal Spring from the tree. He jumped down from the tree manually instead of actually Primal Springing away because he was cursed. So he didn't want to take extra damage from the curse, but in doing so, he jumped down onto the ground and he's right next to 3 heroes. So if he Primal Sprung, I think he would have lived there. But yeah, he got a little bit too greedy, stayed a little bit too long anyway.
Alright, well we got 10 ints stolen here for Dubu, so he's got to be feeling pretty good about some of these participations. Couple kills under his belt too. But Gaz right back top again. And I'd like to see, like you said, I'd like to see them make these plays towards this top part of the map. They feel a little bit slow for the side of Thunder, which feels unusual considering this draft.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit slow, but they're also comfortably farming up, and perhaps a bit of it is respecting that TSM are more ready to fight now than they were in last game. Last game there was the Shadow Fiend who literally just went to sit jungle and farm, whereas Marcy is a very active +1 hero, so Tomato is certainly ready to fight.
They see Dubu,
Dire's
Matthew.
middle tower is under
Moon Meander though in a good position to throw out the fissure to separate. Have to use a spike. Carapace, Sacred. It's split up pretty far here. I'm not sure if Matthew survives. This is gonna pale though. We'll be allowing Panda to get the D-ward off, but they'll be able to get themselves a nice kill and get their own D-warding.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Pakas cleaned up the creep wave top. They're not chasing for him. Marcy has
Gotta
no
be
way to get
careful.
close.
They manage to get the stun. They break the tree. There's the side kick and those hits, but again, okay, Global Silence coming into play. So they're going to be able to cancel out the Dawnbreaker ulti, and Pakas is trying to man up, trying to fight. Boat comes in. Not going to be enough to save him, but does put out a decent amount of damage as Dark Mago pops his BKB. Turns his attention now over to Moon Meander, but the Fissure coming in very well. Going to be able to just block them off as the rest of TSM hiding in the tree line. Mago, he wants this. Panda's got the Sinister Gaze. They need to get a little bit more damage. They'll go and put down that Frost Blast. Need maybe one more hit, and they'll be able to find out Tomato in a very bad situation because he's revealed himself, sitting at 30-something hit points. The hit comes through from Moon Meander. He'll be able to get the kill on him.
Oh my.
And Dark Mago is just running around in circles. They even tip Tomato. They say, bro, what were you doing?
Yeah, I think they are confused by what he was doing. I don't think he understood just how overwhelmed they were there already. They didn't really have anything to fight with as well. Dubu was kind of low, and he was the only hero still alive for him to play with. So, gets kind of a free kill there on Tomato. Thunder are going to be very happy about that, as they're already in pretty good shape, but getting a free +1 kill is certainly not going to slow them down.
Mateo finding out the opening over onto Timberlake, but they have the fissure. It's a bait because TSM was already in position. They'll still be able to get the kill though. And now, it looks like after using that Wukong, they're just not going to be able to go and pursue.
Yeah, they're respecting the Venom ulti. The Poison Nova is taking them down, so just going to back out.
Radiant's middle tower is
I like
under
that
attack.
the tooltip for Poison Nova says it's taking for 2 damage. That is not true. It takes for a whole lot more than 2 damage.
It's a free game. Because mid lane, they even use that Echo Slam. Panda tries to save him. Cannot do it, but Mago? Like he wants to try to get Nex off. No, he's just gonna teleport out.
They want Brawl, trying to catch him.
And the Impale. Dark Mago, though. Immediately gonna use the Illusion Rune. Anderson gonna get the X out spot over onto Saber Light, so we'll connect. Solar Garden this time, they have nothing to cancel it, so in comes Sacred. He'll collect the kill.
Very nice catch there by Kunkan. He has these convenient illusion runes. They're so high value in this game. You can dispel a lot of good stuff. The Silencer, of course, the Venomancer, even the Shadow Race stacks can be dispelled. But he used it mid as well against the Global Silence earlier during one fight. He had an illusion rune bottled and used it to be able to still trigger his X mark and pull back into Torrent. Very convenient for a Dark Mago.
Playing around with Dubu, Sacred, throws out the hammer, just gives him a bit of a fright, but it's not going to go for a full-on committal because they are seeing these teleports come out. Marcy's already on her way down. Moon Meander. There's the jump to dispose. BKB comes out from Mago. Looks like he wants to just walk away from this engagement. They have the Wraith Pact already discussed out as Moon Meander clicks it down. He's going to get himself a nice tidy amount of gold.
Yeah, smart to back out and respect here that TSM are playing for the area. They want to control this, and that's a good thing that they're doing so because they already lost their own safe lane tower. If they lost their off lane tower and didn't take the enemy safe lane, they would be in a terrible spot. So they're kind of forced to going down here and fighting this. Meanwhile, though, Pakas is enjoying a lot of free farm during this time, and they're also shoving in mid.
Yeah, he's got enough for the BKB, so he's going to pick up the recipe. And that's a huge power spike going over to the side of Thunder.
Yeah, that means they have double BKB ready, and of course the Wraith Pact over on Dawnbreaker as well, so she's quite fight ready as well at this stage.
Tomado's getting closer to the BKB, but still has some ways to go, although off of this creep wave should be able to pretty much finish up. So
Yeah.
we'll be seeing some skirmishing from both of them, and I like this. I like the fact that we're getting these cores that want to fight early.
All of them have BKB now. There's the BKB finishing up on Brawl, is flying out. He got it just now, and the BKB is flying out for Tomato. So everybody's going to be in good shape, like you said, to take the fights. And I think initiation is going to be the key to who wins. But I think Thunder Awaken just have a little bit better initiation, as Shaker doesn't have Blink yet. He has the Shard, and he has Tumbler's Toy, which is, I guess, the poor man's Blink. But he doesn't have that full, like, oh, I'm going to initiate, don't worry, stand back. And who else can disable on their team? Look at their stuns. Like, it's just SF ulti for Fear. I guess Marcy jumping in, but that's a core Marcy. So it's not that clear cut. Meanwhile, on the side of Thunder Awaken, pretty much anybody could set up a fight.
Looks like a fight is being set up. They see Mago in the mid lane. Sounds like a TV cartoon show. But TSM, they're going to make their way over to the buy angle. They'll see Matthew. It's not necessarily who they want, but the Fissure landing over onto 3 is beautiful with the Echo Slam. They were not prepared for this over on the side of Thunder. As they take out Seika, they'll take down Panda. They'll find the kill on Matthew, and they're trying to finish off Saberlight. There's the Global Silence, though, because having to run away, they're just doing too much of the punches from Tomato. So they'll turn their attention over to Mago. Panda buys back, wants to go in for the Chain Frost, drags Tomato back, but they've already lost the Kunkka.
What a fantastic team vibe for TSM. And they get, like I just highlighted how difficult it is for them to get initiation, and they managed to find this. They drop down to Observer Ward, sees 3 heroes stacked right next to each other, Fissure, and then follow up with a 3-man dispose or rebound into that. That was a beautiful start for them. And then of course the Aftershock on the Fissure with the Shard. You can trigger the stun again. That worked out so beautifully for them.
That's an Aegis now for Bryle. That feels really, really good for TSM.
Yeah, they needed this so badly. Their tournament life is at stake, and this was a big, big W for them taking that team fight.
Feels bad to like look at Saberlight and see him just so stressed out, because I always feel like that guy's smiling. It's a lot like Insania or Panda. Like these guys, you usually see them. They got big smiles on their face, very cheerful. So you know that it's serious when they are looking stressed out.
Yeah, he knows the severity of the day. I mean, today will decide: do they stay in the game in the playoffs, or are they going to be eliminated already from the group stage? Nobody goes to TI, you know, wanting to not be able to take part of the main event. So for sure, he's focused.
Mid lane,
Radiant's top tower
poking away at Dark Mago. They teleported in Moon Meander to sit on the back lines.
Yeah, Saberlight just filling his role of protecting. The mid tier 1 tower can be very difficult to bring down against Venomancer. Venom wards are really, really obnoxious in that if you want to get close, you're gonna take a lot of damage. And of course, they're running 4 melee heroes, so anybody killing those Venom wards will get hit and take damage back. Here comes the smoke, though.
It's gonna break the smoke into 4 heroes. It's gonna be a very dead Panda move. I think Thunder probably are going to want to back away from this. They were making the moves thinking maybe we could get Tomato. Tomato thinks maybe he could get Pakaz.
He landed the stun, actually. He landed the damage from his rebound, but he flew away in time there on Monkey.
is under attack.
Alright, so what is the item progression now coming out for each of these guys? We've got the Crystal, soon to be a full Daedalus for Bryle. Saberlight has just finished the Vladimir's Offering, which will eventually become the Wraith Pack. And Tomato looks like he's going to be going for the Blink as the next item. There's a little bit of skirmish might break out over here in the corner. They're starting to ping. Matthew scouting.
Yeah, trying to sneak in. I like the choice by Tomato to go for Blink next, by the way. Blink, BKB. The SF is going to do the majority of the damage anyway, and Marcy doesn't need damage items. She does a lot with just BKB.
He creeps forward a little bit here. They do have the sentry. They ping out that they can see him. They will reveal that. Spike Carif is coming out immediately. It's going to force Staff away. Tomato, he's in though. Gets the dispose off, but they'll get the eyes off. Over onto Tomato, and he just can't BKB. He's just immediately taken down. No Tomato for this fight for 40-something seconds. Now Saberlight gets off the Poison Nova. They'll go get a big Arcane, but they'll finish off using that Chain Frost. And now Bryle does have the Aegis. Dark Mago facing off, but over on the back lines, they're just fighting with Moon Meander. They'll clean him up. Global Silence is going to get used. And they are going to force them away. Buyback now from Matthew. They want to get back into this fight. Because thinking about going for it. There's, oh no! It was just off the mark, and now Sacred, did he just feed? He is super dead, giving off that extra int to Dubu. Not quite knowing their limits on that.
I mean, that's Thunder's aggression kicking them in their ass a little bit there as well, because they're such... I wrote it down even in my notes earlier, that they're an unreasonably aggressive team, and that was unreasonably aggressive. You already got a big W in that fight. The Shaker used his ulti, it didn't get anything with it. Timado dying for free. If they just backed out there, they would have been completely fine, but now 2 big cores going down to Brawl there, and he's just back ball.
Yeah, they see Matthew. Had a sentry ward in position. Matthew was hoping perhaps he could have grabbed that double damage rune first, but good positioning out of the side of TSM will punish him.
Yeah, Thunder should really just have been happy with what they got here. That was such a freebie, but the Vena ulti started taking them down a lot, and they didn't really respect, you know, the damage that everybody was taking. They were too low. Now TSM with the DD room pushing high ground.
Got up to Wukong's command. Just want to push them out of this area. Still very scary. They are going to lose this DD rune very soon, though, so it looks like they're going to turn their attention over towards the mid lane.
Yeah, now they know there's no Wukong's command, so they feel pretty safe pushing the tier 2 tower. I would be surprised to even see Thunder able to mount some form of defense here. It can be very difficult.
I mean, they don't have the Kunkka, right? You've got Dark Mago. He's TP's down for 20-something seconds, so I think they're just going to concede this tower.
Yeah, they're going to leave that.
Too hard to fight into...
Kaka has himself an entire Assault Crest and a Sanj, by the way, so once he gets that Halberd, he can be a good solution to the SF, because Halberd against range heroes is a very good way to stop them from dealing out their massive damage, and of course that Daedalus on Brawl, we saw just how much he can do in last fight there.
Aegis has been reclaimed, though, for Brawl, so perhaps they can find this moment to push out of their base and try to get some sort of a pick off. But with Pakaz in the bottom lane, I'm guessing that they're just sitting back. They want to finish off the Desolator, as TSM does not want to wait. They have found themselves Dark Mago. Use the Glimmer Cape to buy him a little bit more time. They will punch down the Wraith Pact, but looks like Mago will survive.
Yeah, Moon Meander showing again and again that he's very, very willing to use the Echo Slam, by the way, as just a tool of chain stunning people. So he's using it with the Shard to just stun on top of the Fissure. Not necessarily waiting for only a moment to jump in and get a big Echo Slam, but also trying to catch people. But they force out BKB, always something. Didn't really get the kill though.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Matthew wandering around a little bit, seeing if he can get any sort of information. Does have the Eye of the Vizier, which is one of those neutral lines that gives you the plus 125 cast range, which feels pretty good on a Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, Nyx is a pretty good carrier for it. Not the worst. He does rely on his mana a little bit, but it's gonna be completely fine. He has clarities to work on his mana pool too. Might be able to snipe this tower if he sees that Shaker left again. He's eyeing it up. He's like, is this tower for me?
Yeah.
Is it?
I mean, they're smoked over on the side of TSM though, so it does feel a little bit scary, but he'll go, take a couple whacks and finish off the tower. Top lane. Mago hiding in the tree line. They see Moon Meander. Ooh, they have vision over on Mago. Panda trying to protect him as much as he can, but there's not a whole heck of a lot that he can do. Could potentially throw out a chain cross if he feels like they're tight enough here in this corner. But the hit's coming out from Tomato. There it is. There's the chain frost. They group together. The draw over onto Tomato, but the follow-up with the global silence is now Briled is just bouncing back and forth. Sacred sitting so very low is going to fall. Get the Wukong's off, but this damage coming out, even though Pakaz has that BKB, they've got to try to lifesteal a little bit more. And over here on the side, Briled is going to pop. End up losing Panda on the back line. Matthew looking not like he's going to survive this either. Moon Meander taking hits from the tower, walking through the Wukongs. It's just taking too much damage. They want this final hit on Tomato, and they're not going to be able to get it. Tomato barely going to survive this engagement. As a team wipe for the side of Thunder.
I actually can't believe they turned that around again. That was a very back and forth fight. We got a full duration Chain Frost bouncing around doing a terrible amount of damage. But yeah, they fought under the Wukong. 7,800 damage it dealt. They were just trying to man up against Monkey King, and he has the Desolator as well. So standing under his Wukongs is a terrifying choice to commit to that.
Impressed with how patient that
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Panda was with that chain frost and identifying, you know, maybe I can draw over Tomato. And I just can't believe that Tomato survived that, though, at the end of the day. He got so low during that entire engagement.
Yeah,
You can see right here is the moment. He just uses the rebound, gets the stun. They have the vessel on him, and he just barely survives on 70 hit points.
Props to Pakas though. I mean, he actually mischief dodged a Daedalus crit from SF there during all that too, so did his best to stay alive. Oh,
All right, though, Sacred. They're gonna follow up with a boat, but still very, very dead. Now Mago is gonna get disposed. Pops his own BKB. Matthew on the back line was looking for the impale. Not gonna be able to go and line it up as the X marks the spot over on the side. Tomato drawn back. Feels
Shaker's
like
fissure
Thunder. He's got the fissure. They've got the silence. And that's just dead. But Pakas drops the Wukongs. Does manage to bottleneck them a little bit over here. Not gonna be able to quite finish off Tomato again, as Bryle does end up getting halberded. Got the frost shield over on Pakas, trying to keep him alive. He has the BKB, but he's fissure blocked over here on the side. Throwing out the chain frosting if they can just make them split. Over on the side, the mischief again. The Echo Slam over onto the back line. They'll kill Pakas. They'll find Panda, and they'll be able to collect themselves a Mago.
that D
probably
on
lose one
SF.
here.
Radiant's top tower
He's just
is
too
under
big
attack.
and just manning up and fighting there. Even holding his BKB for a very long time on Brawl, but Monkey King had no way out of that there. Getting caught out by the Shaker. Great catch, and yeah, the right clicks from SF. Yeah, they're dealing so much damage now because he has the +3 damage per soul as well as the DD rune as well as the Daedalus. Those crits are just shredding through the Monkey.
Feels like we started to get the one-by-one sort of syndrome happening on the side of Thunder.
Yeah, they're losing grip of the game entirely, and we see already a 10,000 gold lead, and this bottom racks doesn't even look defendable. They're gonna try.
Matthew throws out a nice little three-man impale, but that's all they can do right now. They don't have the Monkey King, and they don't have their Kunkka.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under
Yeah, Rax falls, and they're gonna back out safely here on TSM. Roshan is up, spawned just now. We see a replay here of the chase here. Look at the SF coming in. The halberd was used, but he just patiently waits it out. He's like, he's right here. Gonna stay on top
He's
of him.
taunting. He knows exactly where he is.
Yeah, Glimmer Cape can't save you forever, and eventually he has to come out of it. And those crits, they're like 1,300 damage crits each, 1,400 on some other targets as well.
Yeah, they hurt. Moon. Love to see these player camps and the reactions coming out from them.
That reaction right there is Moon knowing that this is not their game. It's their game to throw, basically. They should not lose this game. And that was a relief, you know,
Yeah.
relief that he felt right there, that they won that fight so handily again. And now with the Aegis in hand, immediately smoking up, they're going down for more.
Have to be careful. Both of these cores in the vicinity here. Dark Mago, nice fissure coming out from Moon. You have to shock. There's a couple punches here from Tomato. BKB.
Basher. Oh, disarm. He
Can't
didn't
do
BKB. He didn't BKB on Tomato, so he could use his halberd
Use the
before
halberd.
TPing. So the halberd saves him.
Otherwise, I think he was very dead there. Get enough of those punches off.
Yeah, very, very unlikely they would be able to stand a full volley without getting bashed. I mean, 5 hits, very unlikely that they wouldn't get it. He would even get more, because you have time to do more than 5 hits there. Good
Ooh.
reactions by Dark Mago, though.
Sneaky little play from Matthew during all that. Does manage to slow down that Satanic that was coming out to Bryle. Still needs the Reaver, of course, but slow it down a bit. So the
You
Aegis.
looking for an ulti?
Oh, they'll drop the ulti. Oh, a nice hit as Sacred goes into the back lines, but he does manage to land the Starbreaker. Boat coming through. It's going to whiff, so that's a lot of those big spells over on the side of Thunder. But they do not have. Panda still holding very patiently with that Chain Frost. So if they group up, like maybe like this movie, they're jumping it over onto Matthew. We'll get these Chain Frost bounces. It's going to get a couple here. Can they do enough damage over to Tomato, though, is the question. Global Silence gets used, and Sacred just cut off from the rest of his team because trying to hit as much as he can, trying to stay alive, but again, Sacred just not able to get there quite fast enough. It's another kill here for Tomato. Panda and they try to run back into the space. They bought back on the Dawnbreaker for that Solar Guardian, and it didn't end up working out. And Bryle, you can see here, just wants to finish. They call GG.
they call it, they know when they're beat, they're down, no buyback on the Dawnbreaker, and GG TSM take, that's gonna tie up the series. Beautiful last fight there by Moon Meander. The blink reaction from Monkey King. Like, Monkey throws out the ulti and immediately follows up with a stun, but the moment he sees those clone warriors running out from the Wukong's command, he blinks to safety there. It almost looked like he got stunned because it was, you know, so close that that Boundless Strike landed. But gets out to safety and also connects with a very nice blink in later when the blink came off cooldown again.
Yeah, that was such a beautiful fissure, just having them in the choke point.